Hello and welcome to the Library Show. I'm Mike Letzley, and today I'm joined by my co-host Holly Browning, who's here to talk about the library's adult book clubs. Also be joined by Dylan Posa, the information supervisor, who will talk about his membership in the Rotary Club. And also Miss Connie will have story time as usual. But first up, as I mentioned, is my co-host Holly Browning. Hello, Holly.
Hi, Mike. How are you?
Thanks for being here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, you run our library's adult book club.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yes. So this June marks the third year of Beyond the Book Club, which
3
is
years.
Yes, which is our adult book club.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been so fun for me.
That's
and
neat.
Yes, I love it so much. So
Good.
Yeah.
Well, it's a monthly book club. You change titles every month.
Yes, every month. Yep.
And you have members who come. What did 2020 do to it? Did you have to change how you did it in last year?
2020, we got through it.
Mm-hmm.
We did have to change. We missed maybe 2 months, but we did have to change to Zoom,
Okay.
kind of like everybody, where
Right.
Zoom was really popular.
Right.
There were some that didn't really like the whole Zoom interaction,
Sure.
or didn't So it was a smaller group for that time, but now we're back. This summer we're meeting in the gazebo, and we're all really happy to see each other face to face.
Good, in
So
person.
yeah, yes,
That's good.
and it's growing still. One person tells their friend and brings a friend, and that's kind of how it grows. That person comes back the next month. So
Nice. So
lot
the
of fun.
numbers are good.
yes, the numbers are still good, which I'm really happy about.
Well, good. Well, speaking of numbers, I got curious as to know, do members have to bring their own books, or do they have to buy their own?
Well, they can if they want. Like if they want to make notes and they want to have their own copy of the book,
Mm-hmm.
but they certainly don't have to, because we have, an allotted amount for, different programming.
Uh-huh.
So we actually buy the extra titles for the book club that
Gotcha.
month. And those are reserved just for, the people in the book club.
Okay.
For them to have a copy that month.
So they don't circulate as often?
No, they're not on they're not actually on the shelf. So they
Gotcha.
go and they say, I need the book club selection for this month.
Gotcha.
And then we have them kind of stored away.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
So then monthly the titles change. What happens to the previous month's books now that you have a collection of them, but
Right.
you're on to another book?
Well, that's kind of what I was going to talk about today, is a way to keep those books kind of, instead of just sitting on the shelf, those
Mm-hmm.
extra copies. I know there are other libraries, a lot of other libraries do book club kits. And what those are is we put those together, the titles that we have,
Mm-hmm.
and we loan them out to private book clubs, or if you're part of a nursing home
Mm-hmm.
or a retirement community, and anywhere, a place of employment, and you have a book club, and
Right.
you don't want to go out and buy 10 copies of a book, or you don't want to tell everybody, go to Barnes and Nobles and pay $29.95,
Right. Right.
you have these that you can check out the whole kit.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
So the books would be in there.
The books.
And then
Mhm.
anything else that would be in the kit?
Yeah, I did try to make it, personalize it a little bit. So, you would have your copies of, whatever the title would be,
Mm-hmm.
okay? And then in each one I'll have, a little folder,
Okay.
which is basically a regular folder like this. And in each one I try to, put ideas for that
Okay.
month, for, things that, correlate with the topic that
Mm-hmm.
month. And usually every book has book club, they're called book club discussion questions.
Okay.
And they're for, the book club to use.
Right.
And I just thought, it's a nice way, instead of having to make up your own questions or what you want to ask the group,
Right.
you have printouts. I have, I'll put them in here that, well, these are the questions you can ask. This is, certain books have certain elements on the Internet of Things. Like this one had a whole fan club kit that had, food you can make,
Oh,
and
neat.
songs you can listen to, and
Yeah.
some go above and beyond. And I kind of just basically scour the internet looking for ideas, when I do the title,
Right.
and bring it, to our book club, and then I will put them in the folders and kind of, just to help out the host or the facilitator, kind of,
Right.
with their meeting.
So if I want my club to read a certain book, I don't have to fear not knowing what to talk about or what to do.
Right.
You come up with the ideas,
Right.
and you'll put them in there.
Right.
That's nice.
And when you, instead of just, of course, a standard book club is fine, just sitting down and talking about the book. I mean, that's fun in itself.
Sure.
But to add all these, personal touches, is
Yeah.
what I like to do.
Right.
I know that one time, I mean, we've done a lot of different things and different props. And my favorite thing to do is usually with the signs that we have where it'll say, what the book is for that month for the book club.
Yep.
And yeah, there's one on the screen, yes. And that one was a lot of fun. Like I decorated it, for the theme of the book. And that one was, Southern women's contemporary fiction and, kind of like a fried green tomatoes type thing. And, we had like a Southern garden tea party, that kind of correlated with that. I usually do a game with prizes, that kind of thing. So I'll put all that in the folder for, the person hosting the event. And they don't have to do, the work is that part's done for them. They can just have fun.
Don't have to reinvent the wheel.
Right.
So are these kits check-outable?
Yes, they are. So that's, yes. So that's what we're fine-tuning the checkout part right now. So we anticipate within the month to have at least maybe 3 or 4 titles available, like popular titles. So right now we're kind of working on the checkout, like if it will be just the, the host of the book club checking out and are responsible for bringing the books back all together, or if we'll just have each book and each person in the book club can bring it back, and then I will gather it and put it back together in the kit.
Right.
So just tune in for that, and we will definitely have that on the website when they come available. And
Sure. And you mentioned returns. Do they return everything, or just the books that you're interested in?
They would just be basically the books. They would not, and I will have printed instructions in there, so they won't have to guess and call. And but these kind of papers, of course, you wouldn't have to bring, and even the folder. No, when they bring them back, I can refresh all of it for the next person. So yeah.
Well, tell me, where do you find? You mentioned scouring the internet for these ideas, but do you ever get? Are some books more helpful with that than others?
Oh yes.
Okay.
Yes. Obviously, the more popular, the more people have picked it for a book club, and then the easier the theme, you can. Do you know what I mean? Like the easier the theme of. Let's see. There was a very popular book. Educated as nonfiction. It was really popular, and there was a lot of different things. So we had like a classroom setting type, So I mean, it just depends on the title. Some of them were a little bit tougher. Yeah. We read a book about apartheid, and that was kind of hard. You don't really want to do anything kitschy because that's not. It's a very heavy subject. Yeah. So but
nice.
Yeah.
Well, anything you want an organizer or a host to know before they decide whether they are able or up for, getting one of the kits, and if they can do it, anything they should know?
Well, they can always, for any questions they have, or how to host a book club, or help organizing, I'm always available at Holly Browning at LebanonLibrary.org. It's very easy to remember, or you can just call us.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, that's kind of why I did the personal touches like this, because, if you just hand somebody some books and say, okay, go do the book club, people are going to be like,
Right.
So I try to do as much as I can for them, and they can just have fun.
Sure.
So, yeah.
Well, they won't be scared of getting deer in the headlights look. They'll have stuff to start with.
They'll have stuff to start with instead of, yeah.
Well, thanks for coming on to share that.
Well, absolutely.
I think it's a great idea. It's a great thing the library is doing.
Thank you.
Up next, I will be talking to our information supervisor, Dylan Posa, about his membership in the Rotary Club.
Can you consent with me? Imagine what you'd see if every child had a book to read.
So the mission is for us to get a book to each and every child.
So let's join hands, book people unite, unearth hidden passion. Come on, we'll have a good time.
One book can be the first thing that helps to change a life. People unite.
Read to a child today and spark a lifetime of ambition.
I was 0.5 credits away from completing high school, and I didn't do it. My support team never stopped pushing for me to be better because they knew who I could become as a person. I've been given an opportunity, and I'm just thankful for it.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. The vaping industry spends millions marketing their products to young people. They think they can fool you with the flavors and packaging, but they don't tell you about the toxic and addictive chemicals inside. To learn more, visit sapcwarrencounty.org.
Welcome back to the Library Show. I'm joined now by our information supervisor, Dylan Posa.
Hello.
And Dylan, you are a member of the Lebanon Rotary Club.
That's right. Been a member about 6 years now.
6 years.
6 or 7 years.
And regular listeners may recall that we talked about the Lions Club last time, and we thought this time we would give the floor to another service club.
Appreciate it.
And your expertise in that Rotary Club is what we're here after.
Interesting the Lions Club came first. It's all right.
Well, we went alphabetically.
Wait a minute.
For those two.
Okay.
Okay. Anyway, tell us about the Rotary Club.
All right. Well, so, our director, Julie, and I were talking about how our service organizations in town typically don't get a lot of attention. So this is a great opportunity to talk about it.
Good.
Short little background, the Rotary Club was founded in 1905 in Evanston, Illinois, which is just north of Chicago. It's called the Rotary Club because when they decided to have meetings, they were going to rotate the location of the meeting.
Nice.
Now, we don't really do that anymore.
Right.
I guess it's a little bit easier to have the lunch or the breakfast in one place,
right,
than figure out where we're meeting week to week,
right,
or month to month. Anyway, that's the foundation of the name. The Lebanon Rotary Club was founded in 1920. John Zimkus has a great history. If you ever stop by the Harmon Museum, he'll give you the background. Lebanon was originally too small to be to host a club.
Really?
Based on the bylaws when they were first founded. But we petitioned, got told no, petitioned again, got told no, petitioned a third time, and they said yes. So 1920.
Real interest there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, so we do a lot of things in the community. Of course, Rotary International, the larger umbrella cause, the main cause, you've probably seen it, Rotary is big into the eradication of polio.
Yes.
And it is almost done.
Is it really?
You would think it would be done by now, but it is really the lack of I mean, we take our health system for granted. I think in some countries they just don't have the organization that we have. Even if we don't like our single payer system or whatever, other countries just have it a lot worse. And so it's been harder to stamp out. But I was looking at some stats today, and it's really interesting. Worldwide, we're down to like under 200 cases.
Worldwide?
Worldwide.
Wow.
There are 2 countries where polio still exists in the wild. 2 countries. I mean, it's real close.
Right, you're almost there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Down from, I don't know, in the 70s, it was in the tens of thousands of cases.
Wow.
Yeah, and of course everybody remembers getting their polio shot and so forth. In the U.S., we've, of course, eradicated. It was officially eradicated in the U.S., I want to say in the early 2000s.
Okay.
UK was officially eradicated in the little later 2000. Anyway, slowly it's been country by country by country. We're almost there.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, well, thank you.
That used to haunt a lot of people.
Yeah. Oh, it's terrible.
Yeah.
Another big thing Rotary International does is clean water. Clean water is a big thing for us, I'll say.
Yeah.
We've got a project that the local club supported, where we put in these new, I don't know the name of them, but there are these newfangled water pumps in Malawi.
Okay.
The old pumps used to have to be maintained and have some upkeep like every month or so.
Oh, wow.
These things, they just stick in the ground and they just go for like a year, 2 years, 3 years, just delivering clean water to the village.
That's a godsend to those
Yeah,
folks.
yeah. So
That's awesome.
That's fantastic.
Good.
For like, again, I think we take our clean water for granted.
Right.
Other countries aren't so lucky.
Yeah.
They just don't have the plumbing that we have.
Right.
Anyway, those are a couple big Rotary International projects.
That's
that we've
neat.
got.
So within 15 years or so, Lebanon had their own Rotary Club.
Of the founding of the organization. Yep.
And what are the connections between the local club and international? Are there, programs that you both share? Are there things that local does that is unique to Lebanon?
Yes.
Okay.
To all of those.
Okay. Okay.
Every local club has, or is supposed to have, some local projects or some local causes that they're connected to.
Okay.
And I'll go over a few of those in a minute. And then every local club also contributes to that global Rotary International cause.
Gotcha.
And it's a privilege to be able to do that. So we're able to do a fundraiser locally to help some local group, but we're also able to, with our dues and membership sponsorships and matching grants, which I can talk about in a second, we're able to kick up some money to the international level and help out there.
And the bigger projects that you've already talked about.
Right.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Great.
So one of the things that we do, maybe you'll have seen it, probably one of our bigger high-profile fundraisers is the Country Music Fest, which, as of this airing, just passed, was 2 weeks ago? Yeah, about 2 weeks ago. That's a big fundraiser, and we do that in partnership with Main Street Lebanon. That's a big fundraiser, and that really helps a lot. Again, helps us get a pool of money to send to Rotary International, and gives us a lot of money to give out to the local groups. I will say this also, there is a misconception with these service organizations, and you could probably say this too, you could probably speak to this. There's this idea that we're just kind of like keeping this money.
Right.
We get it and we keep it. We don't.
Right.
Our budget, every year we create a budget, we say this is what we hope to earn, this is what we hope to spend. It's zeroed out in an ideal year, right?
Yeah.
We get as much as we give out, and it's zeroed out.
Right.
The only thing that we do is we've got an account over at the foundation where we're putting money in towards scholarships.
Ah.
And the goal, we're not there yet, but the goal is to just generate enough so that the principal never gets touched, and we just are able to give out as many scholarships as we can off the interest.
Nice.
We're not quite there yet, but we're pretty good. We gave out six scholarships, $6,000 scholarships.
Did you really?
This
past year?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
And they went to Lebanon High School students and Career Center students.
Nice.
Which, that was a big one for us. Because the Career Center, there were some stipulations, like the bylaws and so forth stipulated that it was to be for like school books and so forth. But Career Center students have different needs.
Right.
And so we were able to change it so that they could get that scholarship and apply it towards equipment.
Nice.
Which is desperately needed for some of these kids. Anyway,
nice.
There's some other things that we do,
Yes.
but Country Music Fest, Pancake Breakfast, that's another big one. That's in conjunction with the what is it called? The Let's Lebanon, I think, the Business Expo.
Okay.
It's changed names a couple times, so I'm having trouble remembering what it is now.
Yeah.
And that's a big one too. That's another one where the money we bring in previous years, all of it has gone to the scholarships fund. This year was kind of weird. We didn't know what it was going to give us, so it was discretionary whether we were able to put all of it into a scholarship fund or not.
Okay.
But we actually did very well.
Good.
So, yeah.
Good. And that's a favorite around town, I think.
I think it is too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's and we kind of stole a little bit from the Kiwanis Club. They had Chris Cakes, which is more of a show. Providing pancakes instead of us just flipping them on the grill.
Yeah.
He flips them to you and you catch them on your plate.
Yeah.
So we saw that show at the Kiwanis a few years ago, and we thought, that's, we could probably use that too.
Yeah.
So we our service organizations in town, we borrow from each other all the time.
Sure.
In fact, the Country Music Fest, we borrowed an idea from the Optimists Club this year. They are, of course, they're in charge of the Blues Fest, and they, a few years ago, started running them Friday night and Saturday night. because typically what you'll do with these big festivals is you'll set up Friday night just to be set up to prepare for Saturday. And they decided one year, they said, well, we're set up. Why don't we just open Friday night?
Right.
Great.
Yeah.
And it worked.
Right.
And so that became our sort of plan this year. Like,
Nice.
oh, we're already set up. Why not have it?
Right.
Just took a little bit of different organizational skills, but we were able to do it. And we did great. We did really well.
Good. Well, you're
Yeah.
right. The service clubs in town seem to work well together and don't mind when someone borrows an idea.
Right, yeah. There's friendly competition,
Right.
but it's friendly competition.
Right,
We're
right.
all, our goals are the same, right?
Right.
Our goals are very, very similar. We're just bettering the community.
Right. Right.
Rotary has a couple things. Optimists is full on with the youth. Rotary is definitely emphasizing the youth. Kiwanis, we're all on the same page.
Sure. Sure.
Yep.
And if I'm not mistaken, the black iron bench out in front or in back of the library is a donation of the Rotary Club. If
That's
I'm not
right.
mistaken. It has a little plaque.
That's right. Yeah. When
That's nice.
when we were redoing some of the things at the library,
Mm-hmm.
that opportunity came up, and we thought that would be a really great, visible way of supporting the library.
Yes.
The club. Speaking of visible, the Rotary Club also has the historic signs. I don't know if you've seen those,
Yes.
like the blue and black.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the Rotary Club.
Around town at certain
Mhm.
houses and buildings.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the homeowners pay half. They can pay the full amount if they want to, but typically they pay half, and then we cover the other half. And then it's just a very cool, visible part that visitors can come and, visitors and residents actually can come and see all of the different historic sites in Lebanon.
Yeah. Well, the transplant from Columbus, those have helped me to learn local history.
Yeah.
So it's
That's
nice to have those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's and they're always there, right?
Right.
It's not like you have to go to the city building and pick up a map or something.
Right.
They're just there.
And they're right in front of what you want them to be in front of.
Right.
Yeah, it's nice.
So that's a pretty visible. We've been talking about what else we can do with those, but those are a great visible part of what the Rotary is about.
Right.
I've got some papers here. I didn't want to
Please
forget
go for
anything. We also do Christmas baskets. That's put together at the Countryside Y. That's a program that's been very popular. It's gone for quite a while. Basically, we help generate a list of people in need in the community, and then we put together Christmas baskets. It's like a meal and some other things, and then deliver it to the people's houses.
Nice.
It's kind of like what Adam Matthews does for Thanksgiving,
Right.
but Christmas.
Nice.
And we've been doing that. I'm blanking on how many. Quite a number of years.
Number of years.
Yeah. Yes, but it predates my involvement in the club.
So more than 6 years.
Yeah.
Nice. Nice.
So that's been great. Let's see, what else do we do? And then we've just got a lot of, I want to tell you about this. We've got a youth group, it's called RILA. And we are in the schools.
Okay.
Every service club, I think every service club has that group where it's like, here are the foundations of the club, and we start them young,
Right.
so that they can carry those goals forward.
Right.
Possibly join the club if they want to. They don't have to, but they can at least gives our motto, I
Rationale,
guess,
yeah.
a place in the youth for them to
Good.
carry forward.
Good.
We've got an exchange program.
Really?
Yep, we've started that. That, of course, 2020 kind of took a hit
Right.
on that front.
Right.
But our exchange program has been going really well. We sent 2 years ago. We sent a woman to where did she go? She went. I'm sorry, I'm blanking on where she went. Somewhere in the Middle East.
Okay.
Do I want to say Turkey?
Okay.
Anyway, we sent her over for about 3 months. She had a great time, great experience. We were going to have her come back to the club and speak to us, but again, 2020 happened.
Right, right.
But eventually she'll come and talk to the club about her experience.
Good.
But yeah,
She-
we've got an exchange program.
American woman who went over to study,
Yep.
possibly in Turkey, somewhere in the Middle East,
Yep.
and then you're still waiting to hear a report from her when she
Right,
can.
right, yeah.
Nice.
The man who's in charge of that program, I mean, he's been keeping us up to date. So he's told us so many fantastic things. She was thrilled beyond belief with the program. She had a
Awesome.
great experience. So we're looking forward to hearing it from her point of view, from her
Right.
mouth. But through the scuttlebutt, it sounds like she had a fantastic time.
Good.
And was very thankful for it.
Good.
Let's see, what else do we do? We do so much. I've got these papers here because I didn't want to forget anything.
Sure.
The four-way speech contest. We're doing that
Four-way
as well.
speech contest.
So we have a Rotary motto,
Mm-hmm.
service above self, he who profits most who serves best. We also have a four-way test that we apply to everything that we do. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Ah,
So these are things that we say at the top and at the bottom of every meeting, and
Mhm.
these are things that we use going forward when we're making decisions.
mm-hmm.
The four-way speech contest is high schoolers from the high school and the Career
Mhm.
Center will take a topic and apply the four-way test to that topic.
Ah,
Whatever topic they want. And I'll tell you, it is incredible. I'm sitting here fumbling for words, right?
Mhm.
Because I have clearly not prepared all of my text.
well, you're fine.
These kids write, memorize a speech and give it to the club. A room full of strangers.
Holy
You
cow.
know, I guess adults. Some people might be intimidated by it.
Yeah.
These kids are not.
Huh.
They memorize their speech, they give it to us. It's like this topic, how the four-way test can be applied to that topic. It's fantastic.
Wow.
And then they
memorize.
get graded on this thing.
Wow.
So we're just a local club, and we kind of take the contestants,
Mhm.
or participants, I should say, and then we sort of winnow it down, and then they go to like a regional, and then that
Ah.
goes to a national.
Wow.
Yeah, and so they can take home a little cash prize and some recognition from this
Nice.
four-way speech contest.
Nice.
Yeah, it's really great. And I mean, it's great for them because, I mean, I don't know about you, but I might have wanted to do something like that when I was a kid.
Right.
Boost your confidence.
sure.
Get your, I mean, it's a great thing for them to be able to go up and do this thing,
Right.
to present this memorized speech
Memorized.
in front of, like I said, a group of very intimidating business leaders.
Right. Right.
So
Well, and they
I'm
say,
proud of them when they do it.
yeah, and they say the second greatest fear in America is public speaking. So for
Yep.
them to get that out of the way, so to speak, or at least
Right.
be exposed to it early on, can
Right.
only help.
It's a great experience too.
That's
I mean,
great.
I mean, I'll invite anybody to come out and check it out. It's really inspiring.
That's
and then you
awesome.
can see these. I mean, you can see them. You can sort of see them in the future just doing nothing but succeeding.
Right.
And you can see the seeds planted right there.
Right there.
It's fantastic.
That's awesome.
I have a list here from our website, if anybody wants to go. It's the LebanonohioRotary.com.
Okay.
That's our site. That's our blog, I guess, as it were. It's got a list of some of the places that we've contributed to.
Mhm.
It is by no means an exhaustive list, but some of the big ones. Sleep in Heavenly Peace is another one we've given to.
Mm-hmm.
There's a local, it's a national place, but they've got a local chapter that's all about no child sleeps on the floor
Mm-hmm.
in our town
Right.
or in our county. And you think, how many kids must there be who are sleeping on the floor? There's a lot.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's unfortunate, but again, I guess Rotary International eliminating polio, Sleep in Heavenly Peace, trying to get that number of kids sleeping on the floor to zero.
Right. Right.
What they do is they sponsor bed builds. They get the material, they get the wood, they get the bedding, they get the
Mhm.
pillows, and they sponsor these big bed builds where
Nice.
a group of people will it's like a kind of a assembly line.
Mm-hmm.
You know, one person's drilling, one person's sanding, one person's branding, because they put a
Mhm.
little wooden brand on the bed.
Nice.
And then they just give the bed to the person who's applied for it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And linens, did I hear you say?
Yeah.
Or pillows at least?
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Wow.
a full deal. Yeah.
Wow.
So it's like, here this family has applied. Oh, you know, maybe this child has been recently supplanted from their original family, or whatever circumstances brought them to this
Sure.
room where they're sleeping, and just the saddest things, you know,
Yeah.
maybe they're sleeping on all of their clothes that they own. That's their bed. Or maybe they're just on a little pallet in the corner, you know. We've heard about a lot of terrible situations, and so the need is great and it's real.
Yeah.
And so here's the family applying for this bed. We do this bed build, and then we say, here you go.
Yeah.
Your child is now on a bed.
Off the floor.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. So that's a great program. I'm just going down the list here. Camp Joy we give to every year. We helped build that bike park. We had a 3-year commitment to that.
Really?
Yeah, we gave a certain amount every year for 3 years to help build that, and our logo's on the sign.
Nice.
Can't miss it.
Nice.
Lebanon After Prom we give to every year. You're welcome. Yeah, there's just so many things that we are able to do. And again, that's the goal, is we do these fundraisers. And I get it. People, maybe their funds are limited. Maybe they're a little burnt out on giving. But that's not our goal. Our goal is not to take money and just keep it.
Right.
The idea is, you're giving us this cash, you're giving us a check or whatever, we're spreading it out to where we can do the most good.
Right.
I almost forgot about, I'm forgetting about a lot of things.
That's all right.
Joshua's Place. I think you've heard about it.
Yes.
Yeah, so this was a new thing, or new for me at least, but it was especially relevant in 2020 because, so Joshua's Place, the thing that they did was in 2020, so a lot of the schools are kind of, they're put in a position where they are needing to feed some of the kids, the lower income, the less, or the disadvantaged kids. They'll come to school and they didn't have breakfast that day.
Right.
So the kids will, the school will feed them. Well, when 2020 was in its, hitting us the hardest,
Right.
that level was also hit. So Joshua's Place stepped in and said, we want to help out with that. We want to help feed the kids. And so we gave a pretty good amount to help them fulfill their mission.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
I could probably go on and on and on for several hours about what we've done.
Well, it sounds like you're very involved as a
Yeah,
club.
well, and that's the idea. It's one of the parts of the motto is service above self. So that's what each Rotary member brings, is they say, what can I do? You
Right.
know, maybe some of us can't write checks, so volunteer work is what we do.
Right.
Or maybe some of us have ideas, and whether we're on the executive board or not, whether we're on the presidency track or not, our ideas are listened to, and we can bring it to the club, and then the club can act on it.
Right.
So
Right.
everyone's active in whatever way they can be. It's, again, that service, like what can I do?
Right. Well, tell us how one would become a member if one were interested.
Well, so we're still, we used to meet at the Golden Lamb every Thursday. We had to change venues for reasons. I'll just say that. Right now we're meeting, as of this taping, we're meeting at the Countryside Y.
Okay.
If anybody wants to contact somebody about being a member, I'll take the information. You can just contact me at the library, and I will make sure that your application gets to the right hands. Or if you happen to know a Rotarian, just ask them if you could come to a meeting.
Right.
We are not exclusive. We don't have any, it's not like you don't have to be a citizen of the United States or whatever, you know what I mean?
Right. It's just come.
Just come and show us what you want to do.
Right.
There's, I won't say there's a lengthy process, but you won't be a member that day. There is a process, but it's pretty painless.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And do you still meet weekly?
Now we meet weekly. Yeah.
Okay.
Again, everything was different for 2020 during
Right.
COVID, but we're now meeting weekly again.
At the Countryside Y?
At the Countryside Y, yeah.
Okay.
As of this taping, we're meeting at the Countryside Y.
Okay. And did you already say what time you start those?
Oh,
meetings?
noon. Excuse me.
Noon. Okay.
Yep. Yeah.
So if someone is interested, could they, like you said, could they just slide by the meeting and
Slide
learn
by
what they
and-
can?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
See if it's for you.
Right.
Our meetings are pretty lively.
Mm-hmm.
They're good. They're good meetings.
Good.
They're informational. So the meeting is structured like this. The first half is just lunch and fellowship. We'll sit down with our meal. We'll just be hanging out with each other.
Mhm.
Some of us are flitting about the room,
Mhm.
trying to take care of last-minute details on fundraisers and so forth, collecting some dues and so forth. And then the second half of the meeting is usually a guest speaker.
Ah.
And of course, anybody who wants to be a guest speaker at the club, all we ask is that it is not a solicitation style
Right.
meeting. It's got something to do with educating
Mhm.
the members.
Right.
And so we'll sit and listen to our guest speaker. We've had
Mhm.
so many people. Every year we have Rob Portman usually comes and
Mhm.
talks to both clubs because he's an honorary member of both the Kiwanis and the Rotary.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, sorry
all right.
Lions.
Sorry, we apparently haven't reached out to him.
That's right. I'm sure he'd do it if you ask.
Probably.
However, I think he's getting out of the business. Anyway, we've got Rob Portman who comes every year. We've had state senators, we've had judges, we've had just local business people, and it's just really a great informative talk. Sometimes it results in us actually writing a check there and then. We had was it the Spikes Canine Fund?
Mhm.
They provided. They did. They helped with police dogs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, one of their things was when they came to talk, there was a specific need for a specific dog, and we just said, "Here,
get it done."
Yeah, exactly. So that can happen.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it sounds like you're a giving club, and
Yeah.
people come to you for what they need.
Sleep in Heavenly Peace was another one. One of the members, someone from National came and spoke to the club, and one of the members was so moved, approached them and said, I want to start a chapter.
Wow.
And like pretty much got the ball rolling that day.
That day.
Yeah, they were just so moved by the presentation.
Giving hearts.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So
well, good.
I could talk for a long time about what we do. I hope I've answered some of your questions.
You have.
It's a great club. As of this taping, we're, I'm trying to think of how many members, 65, I think, 65
really?
members.
Good for you.
Yeah, it's a pretty large club.
Yeah.
Kind of fluctuates a little bit. Again, 2020 contributed negatively.
Right.
Lost a few people.
Yeah.
Not to death, excuse me.
Right.
I just want to clarify that.
Right.
Not to death. People's lives changed,
Right.
obviously. Anyway, please feel free to contact me at the library, or if you know a Rotarian, just give them a call. Say I'd like to come to a meeting. The sign up is really easy. Again, we don't have any restrictions like we'll only take 5 bankers or
Right.
we'll only take 1 library member
Right.
or one state treasurer or whatever. So there's not that much of a restriction there. Some clubs do. Some clubs say like only 10% of our club can be in finance or whatever.
Right.
We currently don't have that. So I would just welcome anybody to come by and take a look at our club, see what we can do for you and what you can do for us.
Yeah, two-way street, isn't
Exactly, yeah. It's mostly the one way.
Right.
It's the service above self.
Right.
But you just might find a different side of yourself there.
Well, you might, and
Yeah.
you'd be joining a good group.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So ask for Dylan at the library if you have interest.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Be
Well,
glad
thank
to
you,
do
Dylan.
it.
Well, thank you, Dylan, for being here on the Rotary Club. And next up, Miss Connie will have story time.
There's a lot of fear in coming back to school. I'm a 40-year-old man that walked in there to get his high school diploma. It was very hard for me, but one of the teachers was Miss Araceli. She gave me direction. Every single time I had a question, she'll put down whatever she's doing and she'll sit there with you until you get it. 50% of getting your high school diploma is walking through those doors. The other 50% is doing the work.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Your hometown source, the Lebanon Channel, is now on YouTube.
I know how fortunate I am.
Just search City of Lebanon, Ohio to connect with everything that's happening right here.
And that's going to be an exciting part about this walking tour.
Subscribe to receive exclusive local content available only on the Lebanon Channel.
Wow, Neil Armstrong's coming to my launch. I was so excited about that.
That's the City of Lebanon, Ohio, now on YouTube.
That's what makes this Lebanon, Ohio a great place to live.
Yeah. Hello everyone, it's Miss Connie from the Lebanon Public Library. Thank you for joining me for a story. Are you ready to wake the book bunny up? All right, you know those words to say with me. Here we go. Book bunny, it's time for story time to begin. Hello, book bunny. Can you all give him a wave? He's waving back to you. He's very happy that you're listening to a story with us today, aren't you, Book Bunny? Well, we'll set the Book Bunny aside. And how about if we see what's inside the mystery box? You can sing the song with me. Mystery box, what's inside the mystery box? Mystery box, what's inside the mystery box? All right, let's take a peek inside that mystery box and we'll get a hint about our story today. We'll lift the lid off. Inside is a furry brown animal. He's very large and he lives in the woods in a den or a lair. Are you thinking? Let's see what it is. Oh, it's a bear. Look at that. Today we are going to hear a story about a bear called Where's My Teddy? So we'll slip our bear back inside the mystery box. We'll put the lid on it and then we'll hear our story. Where's My Teddy? Now the setting of a story is where it takes place. So I want you to look at the end papers and see if you can figure out where this story might take place. Do you think it's going to take place in a large city? No, we don't see any large skyscrapers or buildings, do we? How about a farm? Maybe not. No barn, no other animals in the story there. It's going to take place in a woods or a forest. There's our title page, and the title is Where's My Teddy? Remember, the author is the person that writes the words to the story, and the illustrator is the person that does the artwork. This little boy right here in the red shirt, his name is Eddie, and he has a teddy bear named Freddie, and he's lost him, and he's looking for him. Eddie's off to find his teddy. Teddy's name is Freddie. He lost him in the woods somewhere. It's dark and horrible in there. Help, said Eddie. I'm scared already. I want my bed. I want my teddy. He tiptoed on and on until something made him stop quite still. Look out, he thought. There's something there. What's that? A giant teddy bear? Is it Freddie? Said Eddie. What a surprise. How did you get to be this size? Look, but that teddy bear has something red right there. Let's see. You're too big to huddle and cuddle, he said, and I'll never fit both of us into my bed. Then out of the darkness, clearer and clearer, the sound of sobbing came nearer and nearer. Soon the whole woods could hear the voice bawl, "How did you get to be so tiny and small? "You're too small to huddle and cuddle," it said, "and you'll only get lost in my giant-sized bed." It was a gigantic bear and a tiny teddy stomping toward the giant Teddy and Eddie. "My Ted," gasped the bear. "A bear!" screamed Eddie. "A boy!" yelled the bear. "My Teddy!" cried Eddie. Then they ran and they ran through the dark woods back to their homes as fast as they could, all the way back to their snuggly beds where they huddled and cuddled their own little Teds. The end. Thank you for joining me for the book, Where's My Teddy? I'll see you the next time. Bye.
Thank you for joining us today for the Library Show. If you have any questions on today's broadcast, you can give us a call at 932-2665. We hope to see you again next month for the latest news and events for your local Lebanon Library. Thank you.